changing how I viewed failure to attain that made me a successful person in that realm, and somebody that people came to and asked for advice on how to get better at something. If you're not getting to that point every time, there's gonna be somebody else that is. Somebody else that's willing to. What's going on, you guys? Dante, back with another video. You can tell by the title of this video, today we are talking about the power of failure. Talked about the power of isolation in my last video, or the video before my last video actually, so make sure you guys check both of those out. I did a video on how I would lose as much fat as possible in 30 days so that you guys can get right for the summer. And then I also dropped a video, like I said before that, about the power of isolation and why it's so important to embrace that. And much like that video, we're talking about something similar in terms of self-improvement today, and the importance of failure, my experiences with failure, how changing my views of failure and you know, how I react to failure ultimately got me to a lot of places and allowed me to achieve a lot of things that I really wanted to and set my sights on. So I got a couple examples for you guys in terms of, you know, things that I've done and failed at a lot. And it's not failure, and that's one of the first things I want to start this off with is changing your perception of failure. Right? You have to almost get to a mindset that failure literally doesn't exist. It's not, you're not failing, you're learning. And once you take failure, or the idea that you failed, outside of your dictionary, right? Outside of your vocabulary, right? You didn't fail, you learned, right? And it's the same thing with being in the gym. The biggest people that you see in the gym are the people that are the most comfortable with failing. Right? If you're not comfortable with failing in the gym, you're going to plateau. You're not going to hit your highest heights. You're not going to be able to achieve and accomplish and build more muscle because you can't fail. You're not going to a failure. You're not going until it burns, until it hurts, till you can't go anymore. Until you have to question, should I keep going? Why am I still doing this? Why am I trying? Right? If you're not getting to that point every time, there's going to be somebody else that is. Somebody else that's willing to. Somebody that has the courage to keep going and not stop at failure. And that person is the one that's going to achieve and go further and reach those heights that you could have reached and can still reach if you become okay with failure. If you stop thinking that it's failure, if you realize that it's a lesson every single time. So like I said, I got a couple of examples I'm gonna bring up for y'all, and the first one has nothing to do with working out. It has something to do with something that I desired, right? A desire, an actual attainable desire and goal and focus that I put myself toward and set my sights on, and changing how I viewed failure to attain that made me a successful person in that realm, and somebody that people came to and asked for advice on how to get better at something. How did you do that, right? So for example, roller skating. My people that's in Atlanta, you know, the roller skating culture down here has been big and has grown over the years. So with that, we're people, we're in the skating rinks a lot, right? The social environment, the environment has a lot of us in these skating rinks. So, you know, when Friday, Saturday comes around, if you can't skate, you're on the sidelines. I was on the sidelines, right? College night came around. Like I said, those weekend parties out at Sparkles and Cascade started coming around. And I wasn't able to be out there because I didn't have the skills. So what did I do? I realized what I wanted to be able to do, and I set my sights on how to get there. And what did it take? It took me falling a lot. I lost count of how many. Of course, I lost count of how many times I fell. But the first day, you know, I got my brand new pair of skates. Haven't skated all my whole life. Really, probably skated 5 times max in my life before this. And we're talking about back when I was in elementary school is when I was doing this. So I had to be okay with failure. The only way I was going to learn new skills and get better in terms of skating backwards and learning how to turn around when I'm skating, right? But before I get going, how do I use my momentum of when I'm going forward to turn around and then start going backwards? How do I you know, learn this new trick where I start crossing my feet doing this crossover, right? When I'm going around in circles, how do I cross my right foot over my left? I had to learn these things, but to learn them, I had to fail. I didn't just come out the gate and was successful doing this stuff. I had to fall. I didn't fail. I didn't fail. I fell. Right? I kept on falling over and over again, consistently, and getting back up. And that's one of the biggest examples I can give you guys, is literally in the most physical sense. If I would have stopped doing that and stopped trying, you know, people think that I've been skating for 5-10 years because I was able to get in my head, okay, this is what I wanted to do. This is the goal I have set for myself. I want to look like I've been skating my whole life. So what did it take me? It took literally 6 months of me skating outside almost every night on top of a skating deck, or on top of a parking deck, going outside or going out to skating rinks, different skating rinks, and spending that $5-7 whenever it was the cheapest during the weekday, so I could have the rink pretty much to myself, so I could practice, so I could fail. But I wasn't failing, I was learning. My body was getting used to the movements and conditioning itself so that I don't have to think consciously about every single step and move that I'm doing. Getting used to failing, right? Embracing failure allowed me to learn how to roller skate. And embracing failure when I was 250, 260 pounds in the 10th grade at 5'8", embracing failure there, that summer that I decided to change my life. If I didn't embrace me going in and failing in the gym, lifting that weight, not being able to get it up, running and being tired, not being able to run that full mile, having to walk that last quarter mile, if I didn't embrace that, where would I be? I'd be back where I was. I wouldn't have made any of these changes. I wouldn't be talking to you here today. I wouldn't have a story to tell. I got plenty of stories to tell. You can hear the conviction in my voice and what I'm telling you, and the fact that I've gone and experienced this stuff myself. I've experienced people coming and trying to tell me things that I could care less to hear, right? You know, it's good to hear it when I can tell that somebody's heart is open, right? And they're trying to be helpful to me, but you know, the opinions of others can start creeping in and seeping in and opening up that hole for you, to where more of that failure and that feeling that you have failed starts creeping out. So you start second guessing yourself more. You start feeling like, oh, I am a failure, rather than I learned a lesson. You get what I'm saying? So for y'all that y'all are scared to go in a gym and not be able to lift that weight, or you're benching that 135 right now, and you're benching that 185, and you're worried about going up to that 225 so you can get them 2 plates on the bar. You gotta get up there, get under the bar, and if you can't lift it up that first time, when you come back next week, try again. When you come back that next week, you try again, right? And just like I was saying with people coming and talking to you. You know, if you're looking around worried about other people seeing that you're trying to lift this weight, you're worried about other people seeing that you're trying to skate and that you're falling, and you're worried, if you're worried about other people watching you, quote unquote, fail, watching you learn these lessons, if you're worried about that, man, you lost. Then you failed. If you're worried about it, then you failed. If you're worried about coming on here, speaking your mind, speaking your voice, and somebody that you know or have known or growing up with, one of your day one friends, whatever, coming to you and, you know, they got an opinion to say about whatever it is that you're doing, what are they doing? With that being said, man, that's the end of this video. We continuing on the spring cut. It's April 24th right now, so we coming up toward May. I was doing legs and shoulders today. So I had my shoulder session that I just hit, and I'm gonna come back a little bit later and hit legs. You guys might see a video of that. Not when you see this video, but probably the next day, maybe, I don't know, we'll see. But with all that being said, man, we got some people coming and messing with our content, man. I'm gonna keep on posting these videos, and all I need is one mic. Whoever gonna come out here and hear me, or needs to hear me, or could take some and get some value from what it is that I'm trying to push out and share this positivity with y'all and share my experience and knowledge with y'all. Whoever can take something, great. If you can't, oh well. That being said, man, that's the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share with somebody who needs to hear this. And I'm out. Peace.